Here we go. Forbes. Trump ally Steve Bannon attacked Elon Musk, said he would do anything to keep the world's richest person out of the White House in a new interview with an Italian newspaper. Weeks after Bannon publicly derided Musk for his defense of a skilled visa program, Bannon said Musk should go back to South Africa, where he is from, asking, why do we have South Africans, the most racist people on earth, white South Africans, making comments at all on what goes on in the United States? According to a WAPO translation of Musk's interview with Corley de la Sera,
I'm sorry. How is telling someone to go back to, in your opinion, that they should return to where they were born, how is that an insult? For one thing, South Africa is not war-torn. It's actually a beautiful country that Americans vacation in every single year. And people think that Elon Musk is actually from the United States or Canada. He is not. He was born June 28th, 1971, in the extremely affluent city of Pretoria, South Africa. So initially, when he migrated, he did go to Canada first, then he came to the United States. Telling someone to go back to where they're from when they're actually from there and it's a beautiful place is not an insult, and it shouldn't be. I mean, I just heard people in the background when PBD said that, they gasped. Everyone's clutching their pearls. Like, what the fuck? That's not a bad thing. I mean, that's where he's from. Why? How is that an insult? But let's listen to the rest of it.
Bannon, a controversial figure whose influence over Trump has been ebbed and flowed for years, says he would do anything to keep Musk off the White House and is actively working on a strategy to limit his influence over Trump, telling the paper Musk's ideas are really about the implementation of techno-feudalism on a global scale. Tom.
They are. Anybody who knows, okay, where have you heard the word techno-feudalism? Who's being described as techno-feudalist? Well, it is the World Economic Forum, who right now are rewriting the entire world in their image. Techno-feudalism is what they've accused Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and other companies of doing when they went against a constitution, censored Trump, and tried to do a techno takeover of the United States. It failed. And the mandate that just came out is the reason why Zuckerberg is on his knees, changing his own personal image, begging for forgiveness, and why Elon Musk put those crumbs, because, yeah, it looked like a lot of money, but in the big scheme of how much Musk is worth, he threw his table scraps at the Trump campaign for us to win. That was a net positive. However, what are their motives? Now, Steve Bannon is a patriot. He literally sacrificed his wealth and his freedom in the name of the movement of the America First cause. He's a constitutionalist. He's a nationalist. He's a patriot. And he literally put everything behind Trump. So for him not to be in the Trump administration right now, it seems like there's a huge blind spot, in my opinion. But no way we're going to slander Bannon in the name of fucking Musk. Musk, who lies to you about space, who builds rockets to nowhere, who's telling you you're not going to Mars. No one is. All of that is make-believe science fiction bullshit that they sell to the public. And as long as the public is eating it up, they're going to keep getting away with it. That makes Musk dangerous, and that's why Bannon does not want him in the White House, which makes sense.
So, boy, where to start to see Bannon?
Look at this man's face. He wants to start talking, but he can't be too honest because PBD is sitting across from him, and PBD is his boss. Even though they've been friends for over 20 years, to bring up Musk's potential lack of patriotism or to question anything about that, in a way you'll be questioning PBD's as well, since he also was not born in the United States. But let's continue.
Boy, he was when he got out and got back on the microphone, got out after, in my opinion, wrongfully imprisoned, wrongfully prosecuted. But when he came back out, he's got a belly full of fire.
This is a man who's really good with words. And this man right now is stuttering. He's flustered. He's nervous. He wants to be honest, but he can't be too honest. He has to tap dance around PBD, who, he probably does have a history of being emotional. But because also PBD magically also was a fan of the visas as well.
And the thing that he's linked his 2 weeks of diatribe to has been the H-1B and his position that it takes jobs away from American workers, and that
Does it not? What jobs that you sit on a computer and you do IT? What jobs that are IT that only an Indian person can handle? That an American who's out of work, or American who's graduating college, or an American that's just finishing high school couldn't do with their eyes closed. We're literally born and raised and we live on computers our whole lives. Now, do Americans want those jobs? Maybe not. The fear is with an American, they can go there, work under you, you train them, you teach them everything, and then one day they come up with $50,000 and they can leave, start another company, and become your competition one day. And that's why they want to import slave labor, give them all these terrible contracts, cut their pay in half, put them in corporate housing so they can control them the whole way through. That's why that's not America first. That's slavery and money first. America first will be putting Americans first and having those hundreds of thousands of tech jobs going to Americans, which they should. But watch. You look how scared this man is just to speak to PBD.
They're lower cost jobs, and then the H-1B recipient can't change jobs easily. That's his core. I'm not saying that
they can't change jobs easily. Again, they're indentured servants, which is another word for a slave.
That's my point. I'm saying that's what Bannon has said. And he said, so therefore, since they're getting them for a lower price and they can't change jobs, they have a person there and they should be paying more to an American, a worker of whatever color, but an American citizen should have that job.
Now, who in their right mind, when you look out your window and you look at our economy right now, the state of our country right now, who disagrees with these jobs in America should go to Americans first? Who is going to sit up here and explain to me that, no, actually, we should just bring in foreigners, even though you have Americans out of work right now? You got a whole workforce in Michigan that's looking for jobs because they tried to push this EV bullshit, which is now going to go belly up, and hopefully those jobs are going to come back. But you have whole swaths of this country where there are willing and able people looking for jobs like this. And you want to bring somebody in from India or Sri Lanka to do a job that an American can do? Fuck off. America first means Americans first. Who would want to put someone else in front of you? That doesn't even seem logical. So keep that in mind.
So he's been really revved up on that. So he's been head to head with Elon Musk on that, because Elon Musk was, it was kind of aimed at Bannon and others when people were very firm on H-1B, and Musk said to everybody, F you in the face. This is the way I feel about it.
F you in the face because you don't agree with him that American jobs in America should go to foreigners who they bring from America and pay them half the price. Musk, go fuck yourself in the face with a cyber fuck. How about you cyber fuck yourself in the face?
But I don't agree with Bannon doubling down and then, South Africa being racist. Yeah, there's a history there, but that'd be like if I had a German
No, you silly fuck. It's not like that. The difference is you're now making yourself, well, what if I had a German grandparent? No. We're talking about you. In this situation, you would have to be the German that just moved to the United States for this to be a fair comparison to what Bannon is claiming about Elon Musk, who was himself born in Pretoria, South Africa. Now, I don't like to play the race card. I don't like even the term racist. I don't believe the shit exists. I've never seen it. I've never seen oppression. I don't even, it's hard to quantify it or measure it. So it's hard to validate its existence. You just got to believe what other people tell you that is there. Just like when someone tells me there's a black hole 15 light years away, I got to just believe it. Or I got to say it, I don't believe it's there. So you have a choice. But he's making that comparison. No. It'll only be a comparison if you yourself was from Germany, living in America, then you can compare yourself to Musk. But you can't say, well, my grandparent, they're going to say that, oh, there goes. No. We're talking about you as an individual, Musk as an individual.
grandparent, which I don't, but I had a German grandparent, be like Bannon saying, there goes Ellsworth and his German grandparents always wanting to start a war and take things over. I think that's out of bounds.
He had to do this comparison because had he made another comparison about someone who's an actual foreigner that lives in the United States now, that was not born here, in a roundabout way, he would be also referring to PBD. To steer clear of that, he had to come up with this weird scenario that's not even anywhere close to what Elon Musk is. Your grandparents and Elon Musk being first generation, not be, being new to this country, those are different comparisons. So they're apples and oranges, my friend.
Right? Has South Africa had a history? Sure, it has. But how do you put that, on Elon? Because he hasn't shown that. I haven't seen a racist guy. I see a guy sentenced.
How do you see a racist guy? You think people are just walking around nowadays and throwing out all types of slurs? And I mean, shit, racism is funny nowadays. It's comedy. So what are you expecting to see? You don't even know. You've never met him in real life. What are you expecting to see? There is nothing to expect to see. You don't know if Bannon's correct or not. What Bannon said is historically correct about the South Africans, where Elon Musk comes from. Not saying that he's exactly like one of them, but his point is still valid. Why is someone from South Africa in America literally influencing our politics? And that is a problem.
Starlink around the world for natural disasters. I don't really see that. I think Bannon's got an issue with visas, and he's got a big beef with Musk, and it's boiling over into some really heavy nationalist feelings.
I think, and I like Steve Bannon. I know he's just trying to stir the pot, but
he loves Steve Bannon, but he's afraid of Patrick Bet-David being offended because PBD was already offended once he was called out for being a sponsor of the H-1B visas himself. Also, not being born in America, he parallels Musk so much, everyone has to play patty cake, or they might get their ass chewed out or worse by PBD. So just look at these guys' faces. This is fear.
Elon Musk going back to South Africa, that's anti-American. The guy's American. He has done so much for America, for hiring thousands of Americans. He's getting us out into space, free speech.
He's not getting us out into space. However, the Twitter's free speech is, tell that to Myron Gaines. Tell that to anyone else who Musk might unilaterally decide he doesn't like. The thing about free speech is it's not supposed to protect the speech that you enjoy hearing. It's supposed to protect the speech you find abhorrent, the speech you can't stand, the speech that disgusts you, the speech that you might want to call hate speech. It's supposed to protect that, not the good stuff. And if you rub Musk the wrong way, he'll ban your speech, which I think is fucked up because I thought that was what we were celebrating and congratulating him on, was bringing back free speech. But remember, it's all contingent. Think about it. Musk is not an elected official. In 2 years, if he decides he wants to become a Democrat again, who's going to stop him? Now our best friend is our worst enemy, and he's been working with us, so he knows our techniques, our tactics, and he knows our weaknesses. So keep that in mind. The things that make you smile might make you cry eventually.
He lost money to put us on X. And I mean, do I agree with everything that Musk says? No, Tom. Pat, I think, you never know what a true person's intentions are. We'll see in the long run. But this whole cheap anti-immigrant, dude, the guy is an American citizen. Wasn't he he was a Canadian?
You can't be America first and immigrant first at the same time. You have to pick one. You can't have it both ways. You can't be a double-minded man. Are you America first or are you immigrant first? Which experience are you more concerned about? Your American experience or the immigrants or the experience for immigrants? You have to choose one, and you have to stick with it, my friend.
Citizen as well, Tom?
South Africa.
No, he was a Canadian. I think he was. Can you check that, Rob? Was he a Canadian citizen as well?
I believe
the land of opportunity. Okay, these people have busted their asses. They're doing their thing. It's like I see a little jealousy. I see a little anger. I'm all about, everybody out there knows, I'm America first, but this is a cheap-ass shot, and it's like, we've been saying it, that the Democrats want to separate us and have us all fighting and blah, 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 blah. I think Steve Bannon is better than this. I know he's angry about, being wrongfully accused, but you know what? You have platforms like X that you get to talk all this shit that you probably would have been in trouble or banned 3 years ago. Now you can say whatever the hell you want. I'm not a big fan.
Hey, you don't like what he's saying, but you defend his right to say it.
Yeah, you're damn right. 100%.
Well, as Andrew Schultz said, he's one of my favorite African Americans ever. But Elon Musk,
He is a legit African American. And me being an immigrant, I can understand that he is a legit, an actual African American, which, okay, that's a fair comparison, which is good for him. However, that does not mean he's America first. It doesn't. Don't forget, he was being threatened with prison. Kamala Harris, the World Economic Forum, and the European Union wants to put Elon Musk in jail. They were already sending him threatening letters. They were going to do to Elon Musk what they did to Andrew and Tristan Tate. That is what was coming down the line. They were going to do to Elon Musk what they did to Julian Assange. Why do you think Elon Musk put that money up and ponied up to Trump? To stay out of jail. Not because he's a patriot, he loves America, it's to save his own ass. Let's look at the whole picture here. This wasn't a selfless act he did by joining us on the conservative side and, becoming a Republican all of a sudden, or voting Republican. He was a Democrat until 8 months ago. Never forget that. So was Zuckerberg.
did you hear what else he said? He said it wasn't just that, oh, he should go back to South Africa and there's a history of racism and apartheid in South Africa. Okay, that's one thing. He said the following: Elon Musk is a truly evil guy, a very bad guy. I made it my personal thing to take this guy down. All right.
If somebody like Steve Bannon, who has a history going back, 10 years of being trustworthy, honest, a patriot, and loyal, if someone with Steve Bannon's history tells us something like this about Elon Musk, somebody who he likely has inside information on that's not known to the public, then we should listen to him. We know more about who Steve Bannon really is than we know about what Elon Musk really is. We don't know. We know he bought Twitter. Before that, he was just a guy on Twitter. He was a Democrat. What else? He owned Tesla, but he bought it from two other guys who invented the whole thing of Tesla, and he kind of just took credit for it. He builds rockets to nowhere that create tons of waste in our oceans that land off of Cape Canaveral into a region that we call the Bermuda Triangle. Tons of trash and waste that just goes into the waters there. I'm not sure what the practical applications are for these rockets that go up, 15 miles and then they curve over and come in, and then land in the water. I'm not sure how that benefits us. We're not going anywhere. There's no going to the moon. There's no going to another planet. All that shit's science fiction, make-believe bullshit. It's just Kool-Aid, and we've drank it for so long. All the movies and the Hollywood propaganda telling you that space is real. And then there's one guy named Elon Musk that's also lying to you as well. Him lying to the public about space every day means he is evil. That's not something that you're doing to help the public. You're deceiving everyone. That is evil, in my opinion.
You think you're taking Elon Musk down, the richest man in the world? Just got out of jail. Choose your enemies wisely. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to choose. This is punching up. I get it. I said a couple podcasts ago, MAGA 1.0 versus MAGA 2.0.
Elon Musk is not MAGA. And if he's anything, Elon Musk would be 1.0. Bannon is 2.0. But don't forget, some really, really poor, obscure nobody woman named Jaguar Wright is responsible for Puff Daddy, who was one of the most successful American businessmen ever. She's the reason why he went down. She took him down by herself, and he's in prison now. Remember, the snowflake can cause an avalanche. Never underestimate who or what people really are.
Sort of the nationalists, the populists, the anti-immigrant, anti-trade, those types of pieces, versus, look, call it what you will. Elon Musk is a globalist. He has business all over the world. He
is a globalist. Techno-feudalism is what Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, that's their plans for the Western world's future. They plan on controlling us with a new form of techno-communism, techno-feudalism. and they're still working out the kinks. That's what Elon Musk and Zuckerberg were being accused of until they ponied up to the right recently in history. Actually, Zuckerberg got caught working with the Chinese, making backdoors, listening to people's information, keeping key logs. He had a whole separate company that gave our governments access and could flag us and remove us and hamper our free speech. He was working directly with the government. Essentially, you're a part of the government, a tech company running our government, unelected, no oversight. This is what, and that's what also Twitter was doing before Musk took over. Now the waters are a little muddy. We got to see where things settle. But literally, Musk is a part of that.
There is some conversation to be had about his relationship with China. You know, Steve Bannon basically says he's owned by China in so many words. But
does anybody know anything about doing business with the Chinese? You do know that the Chinese, for you to do business with them, they have to have a stake in your company. They have to be on your board, have at least a member of the CCP on your board. That's why they're banning TikTok. But they are not banning Tesla yet. But you don't think that was on the table if Harris would have won? See, everything's a compromise. He worked out a deal with Trump to not go forward with the Department of Justice investigation. Could have broke up Tesla and could have also brought other charges and sanctions against him for working with the Chinese. He made a deal with Trump to keep himself out of trouble. This isn't about protecting Americans, which is why he has no problems giving hundreds of thousands or even potentially millions of jobs to Indians and bringing them to America instead of just spreading those millions of jobs amongst these 330 million Americans that are here and seeing what we have in our pool of employees who could do those same jobs. Graduates from high school and college could do those jobs. Why would somebody from India be more qualified? They wouldn't. So let's keep in mind, as of right now, Steve Bannon is America first. Elon Musk is money first, himself first. Bannon didn't try to save his ass. Bannon went to prison. Musk don't want to go to prison. He saved his own ass. So you got to look at a character difference as well.
the other thing that Steve Bannon said the other day was very interesting is, converts. We want converts. We want people to convert. We want people to come to the party. But you sit in the back of the room and
yes, if you're not an American, but you want to come over here and you want to join the American conversation, you weren't born here, but you want to come here now, you can walk into the room, you can sit, you can listen, but take your ass to the back, sit down and take notes. You don't have a say so. We Americans cannot go to your country and go sit in your government and tell your government what to do as individuals. Our government can threaten you with sanctions and military, and they can make you change your policies that way because they might be in charge of your country. They might give your country a lot of money. However, it's not the same for us. We're not getting anything from you. You don't get to come over here and give us your ideas. That's not how it works. You can come sit in the room, you can sit in the back, you can take notes, and you can just hope that we let you stay and we play nice with you. You know, you got to know your place sometimes. And your place is not getting up and telling us how to live. America first means Americans first. I don't know how anybody could be objective of that or unclear about what this means.
I look at it, that comment like, all right, you think that Elon Musk, who just gave how much money? $250 million to the Trump campaign, is going to sit in the back of the room? Buddy, he's driving shotgun.
I don't like that. I don't like the fact that your money means you can drive shotgun in my government. Your money means you can buy yourself into power. That's communism. That's what that's fascism. That's what we're trying to get away from. And now Adam is literally admitting that Elon Musk put up so much money behind Trump that he's in the driver's seat. And I'm supposed to be comfortable with that. You're supposed to be comfortable with that. People listening to this are supposed. That's why I said this was an important episode on the PVD podcast. It said a whole lot. It says a lot about what's going on in the state of things, and this is what we need to pay attention to.
This point. So at the end of the day, this MAGA 1.0 versus MAGA 2.0, who's the one person that can diffuse this? Who's the one person that can make sure everything's okay? Trump. You know,
227 million to back Trump. What's 227 million to someone who's worth almost, what was it, 800 billion? Do you know how much $1 billion is? Let alone 800? 227 million that's change. That's nothing. And it's a small price to pay to keep your companies and stay out of prison. Anybody who's about to lose everything and go to jail, they had 228. If they had 278 million, they would happily give up 277 to keep their freedom. Keep that in mind as well. That doesn't mean Musk is America first. That means he's Musk first.
6 days from now, he's as an
Do
inauguration.
you think Trump likes this?
I don't
Do you
think.
think? Do you think Trump? Because remember, Trump is not who you think you are. Do you think that he's a guy that looks at the world in a different way than the average person does? Do you think Trump likes this?
No.
I mean, why wouldn't Trump? Trump respected Steve Bannon's counsel and his honesty and his loyalty. Never let money come in between loyalty and honesty and somebody you can trust. Never lose somebody who's in your corner over somebody with some money. Everybody's going to learn that lesson the hard way in life, but hopefully Trump doesn't have to learn that lesson the hard way at the expense of the American public and the American future. But I mean, I don't know. Let's see what, I don't know. Pat David, PBD seems indifferent when it comes to this. However, remember, for him to question Musk means he has to question himself. So that's why you don't really see him saying he's not going to do too much of a deep dive into this.
The fighting with Bannon? No, because I know that he knows that Bannon's been there for him, old school. Bannon has gone to prison for him because of his ideas and being a MAGA supporter. And I think Elon's doing something completely same type of vision, same type of goal, but just in a different lane. But I don't think Trump likes the infighting before he's even come into office. He's not even there yet.
I got to tell you, I don't know what role Steve Bannon has in the new Trump administration, if anything.
I don't think he has.
And by the way, I know one thing.
That's a huge blind spot. Trump needs all the help he can get. As far as we can tell, it seems like all hell's going to break loose in a week. Matter of fact, it's not even a week, less than a week. Trump's not even president. And if you live in Los Angeles, literally all hell broke loose. I'm from Los Angeles. I grew up there. When my family came to the U.S., we lived in California. We came from Merced County on the farms down to San Pedro to work on the docks. So to watch my home state in my home city of Los Angeles go up and smoke the way it did, hell is already broken loose. Imagine what's going to happen January 21st.
About Trump, he's no fan of the illegal immigration. He's no fan of the illegals. But when you talk about immigrants and legal immigrants, I mean, even in his inner circle, doesn't he have Sebastian Gorka?
Yes.
Does he have Boris Epstein? That's part of it. I'm sure there's more. But also, don't forget, 2 out of his 3 wives have been legal immigrants. Right?
Yeah.
The mother to his first 3 kids and to his last kid, Barron Trump. So Melania, so what are we talking about with this anti-immigrant, anti-foreign-born people coming to America, going back to the country?
That's Adam, you're misrepresenting. Steve Bannon is not anti-immigrant. Trump's not anti-immigrant. Steve Bannon is anti-immigrants being equal to born Americans, natural born American citizens. You are not equal to a born American citizen. American citizenship must mean something. If everybody can just walk over here and become an American automatically and have to say so, then it means shit. It means nothing. So it can't, that can't be the case. He is anti an immigrant coming over here and being equal to a natural born American citizen. And he's absolutely right about that. We are not equal, and it shouldn't be equal.
It's a little nativist and it's a little nationalist, and that's fine sometimes, but not the white nationalist perspective.
What's the difference? What's a nationalist versus a white nationalist? What's a black nationalist? What the fuck is a color nationalist anyway? If you're a color, you're not a human. There is no nationality. There's no white land. There's no black land, or you can be on your passport, oh, this person's a black from the land of Blackia. There's no such thing. So what are you talking about, Adam?
I'm down for that.
All right, folks. For those of you that are excited about what's about to come up here, January 20th, and you supported the president, the collection, the limited edition hat.
Like I said, PBD wants to stay clear of this topic because, well, then he might accidentally let the Valuetainment viewers know that he is in a similar situation of Musk as far as not being necessarily born in America. And if there's any questions you're going to have about Musk, you're going to also look at PBD or anybody else who's not a natural born American the same way. You know, these are scary times. We don't know where the future is going, and we don't know who to trust. We have our own people in government literally trying to dismantle our government, our own country, brick by brick. So we don't know who to trust. I'll be back on with another segment. I just wanted to go over this. The Steve Bannon slander is going to stop. We're not going to have that. If it comes down to Bannon or Musk, it's Bannon 1,000 times out of 1,000. It will be Bannon 100%. He has there's no mystery in his history. But when it comes to Elon Musk, very mysterious. So let's keep that in mind. And I'll be back on in a second with the next topic.